Hello, everyone. It is April 21st, 2021, Wednesday, 6:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just wanted to go over something pretty cool I found. So this app, this is not the cool part. This is one of the most popular downloaded apps, apparently. It's called Headspace. And it's supposed to teach you how to meditate. And I actually got called closed-minded today because I said this is a no-go. And here's my problem with it. So Christian meditation, which is not this was founded by a man in Great Britain, Andy, who studied with Buddhists. He's Buddhist. So they try to play it off as secular, but it's not secular. It is spiritual. It's all rooted in Eastern spirituality. But let's just take it at face value and say it is secular or whatever. What it's supposed to do is teach you things, teach you how to meditate. And then there's all these different categories, dealing with distractions, creativity, dealing with regret, fear of the future, grieving, finding focus, handling sadness, happiness. So a lot of what it is, letting go of stress, it's trying to accomplish what it can't accomplish. So as we know, a lot of these things they're describing, like being peaceful, letting go of stress, and calmness, is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. It's something that is given to you by the Holy Spirit. It is a gift. So our job is to seek the Holy Spirit, seek the Trinity, and all these other things will be given to us. But this is trying to cut God out of the equation and tell you that you can accomplish patience and all this stuff by an app and by your own self. Because here's what it does. It traps you in yourself. So it's all about you. It's all about your feelings. It's all about your breathing and your body and your minds. And it doesn't lift you up like Christian meditation does to the divine. So that is the difference between secular meditation or even Eastern meditation and then Christian meditation, which is Christian meditation is preparing ourselves to have an encounter with Jesus. So if you go back and watch my video on the levels of prayer, meditative prayer opens up the doorway to the higher prayers that require more graces, such as contemplative prayer. But for Jesus, or the Trinity, I should say, to impart those graces on us, we have to first prepare our souls, and how we do that is by meditating. So this meditating for us is just an avenue to our ultimate goal, which is being in unity with Jesus. This is saying that learning how to meditate and obtaining these things is the goal. So it's sad, actually, and I got called closed-minded over it, and I kind of was like, whatever, you're a Buddhist. But what I kind of discounted it, and what I probably should have done, and what I did after the fact, was I should have tried to understand why this person likes this so much. What is it about this that you find beneficial is what I should have done, and then made my assessment that way. Because it's not necessarily the exercises that are done are the issue. It's that it's trying to be it's trying to teach you to be the Holy Spirit. It's trying to teach you to do only what the Holy Spirit can do. So that's my issue with it. So I found an alternative, though. I found the Catholic answer to Headspace, which is this app called Hallow, and it's awesome. I totally recommend you downloading it. So Hallow is, I think it's a little more expensive. It's $14.99 a month, and I think $12.99 a month for the Headspace app. And there are meditations, and there are guided meditations, which I think are great. My only concern with the guided meditations is if you don't know the true God, if you don't truly know who Jesus is, or at least have an understanding of his righteousness and things like that, it could open the door for you to kind of create your own Jesus. So I was a little concerned about that. So I think it needs to be structured in a way that the developer of this app, makes you understand for some basic characteristics of Jesus. But anyway, for someone like me, it's great because I'm on this continual mission to silence myself, inner silence, to achieve inner silence and to make the environment in my soul so that Jesus can, in all his grace, can come into it. And it's a struggle, it's a battle every day to be able to do that. Most of the time I do that with the rosary, and in adoration, in the adoration chapel at my church. But this is great, a great alternative to that, or an addition, I should say. And one of the things I really like about it is the saints here. So what they'll do is they'll go over a background of a saint and then read one of the writings or poems of the saint, and then you can meditate on that. So I think that's awesome. I'm a big saint fan. The saints are super inspirational to me. And then there's prayers in Latin and Aramaic, which is super cool. There's novenas, there's intros, start with the basics. And what I had realized when I clicked on this intro and I did the sitting in silence with God is that I had an experience with God, with Jesus in Mass not too long ago, that was really structured in this way. So this is definitely on point in cohesion, I would say, with the Holy Spirit. God, the people who made this are Catholics, and I would say they were guided by the Holy Spirit in doing so, just from my own personal experience of what I encountered and what they are guiding you through in this first meditation of how to obtain silence, to have, meditation with, or an encounter with Jesus. And for me, it was super, it kind of brought everything together, because he was showing me in that experience, which I kind of realized this after the fact, of how to obtain that inner silence, in that inner peace. He was showing me how to approach that, because I struggle with it. He's made it very clear to me that the script that goes on in my head constantly is a barrier. It is an obstacle, for me to hear him. So I have to literally shut myself up, and it's not as easy as you would think. Go figure, right? Apparently I like to run my mouth even in my head. So that's a problem. So anyway, for me, this is great. So for somebody that is trying to do, find different spiritual exercises to be able to do that, and who already has a fundamental understanding of Jesus and who he is, and what he's about, and what his teachings are, this is great. For somebody who doesn't have that, I would be a little nervous with this, because they could invent their own Jesus, which is a little scary. And precisely responsible for many of the problems we have now. But for a well-catechized Catholic, this is a good app, I would say. And even just for that is a good practice. The app is good for anyone. Like the saints, anybody could do that. The prayers, anybody can do that. So that's awesome. Stations, and there's like a rosary one in here, the Psalms, which is great. So I would give it an overall A, definitely. Probably a 4.5 on the 5 in the App Store. In the whole point, so the whole difference, like I said, is for us, for meditation for us, is to have an encounter with Jesus. It's to be able to lift ourselves up, to be transformed, to be more like him. And we only do that by having experiences with him, and encountering him, and seeking divine wisdom and knowledge. And all the other fruits of the Holy Spirit are given to us after that. But here's what I see happening a lot in our society. It's we are after the fruits of the Holy Spirit, but we don't want to put in the work, or we don't want to acknowledge the gift giver. So you fail in your mission. You'll never obtain it because you're not going to the source. You're not giving credit where credit is due, so to speak. So that's the danger of these Headspace apps, and it's unfortunate that it's so popular, but I'm glad to see that there's a Catholic alternative to it, and I hope that this can get out, the word that there is a Catholic Headspace, so to speak. So if you like that style of guided meditations and things like that, this is great, because it's very Christ-centered instead of self-centered. So that's my spiel, and I hope, give it a try. There's like a 7-day free period, where you can try it out. I don't know if it's 7 or 14 days actually, where you can try it out. And, if you don't like it, just cancel it. If you do get something out of it, awesome. Just pass the word on. So I'll be doing it here and there, I think, especially the saints. I'm big into saints. So any meditations on their works, I do enjoy. So, and there's a Spanish section as well. So, yeah, it's modeled after that app, after the Headspace app, but it's all about Catholic principles, and this would probably only work the way they have it modeled in for Catholics, because we already are well versed with meditating. If you pray the rosary, you meditate, or you should be. You shouldn't be just saying it. So that's always my go-to. So every time somebody talks about Headspace, I'm like, hey, have you heard of the rosary? Let me tell you about the rosary. Like, I think people get sick of hearing that. So now I have something else. Like, hey, let me tell you about the rosary. I have even sent people rosary apps. Like, I'm a nut, but I can't stand it. And it's not that I'm mad at people who use Headspace, but I feel bad. I feel bad that there's people that are so desperate in their lives, that they resort to that. And they say it's not a religion, but it is. It is a religion. So, all right, y'all have a great night. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and let me know if you try out this Hallow app, what you think of it. I would be really interested to hear everybody's opinion. So please let me know.